After a whirlwind marriage, Emily Price heads to Italy with her new husband and learns that the sweet life is found when she lets go. And it really is the story of a young woman who, she's an art restorer, so her job is very much like her life. It is very detailed, very controlled. And so something new comes her way. Attraction is not necessarily controllable, and she meets an Italian man named Ben Vassallo, falls in love with him, and in heading to Italy, there's this new world. It takes her out of everything she knows, and she sort of learns to accept herself and others, her own foibles, their foibles. It's just sort of an embracing life type of story. Okay, so the 22nd blog is actually September 22nd. September 22nd is the day that C.S. Lewis says he was in the sidecar with his older brother Warnie and became a Christian. It's on September 22nd. Wow. J.R.R. Tolkien, his best friend, then honored that day by giving it the birthday for Bilbo Baggins and Frodo. Those two characters, that's their birthday. So that's where the 22nd came from. And partially because all my books thus far have C.S. Lewis roots. That is sort of my secret, which I've just put out there. But say, Dear Mr. Knightley, a lot of the letters came from the idea of the screw tape letters and how far I could push a character. Lizzie and Jane came from a question I had about C.S. Lewis's book, The Four Loves. And if you took love away from a woman, what would compel her to put it back in all the four different forms? Mm-hmm. The Bronte Plot was a journey on this side of eternity, looking at how you make changes in your life and different choices. And A Portrait of Emily Price came from when I was reading his book, Till We Have Faces. There's this really powerful scene in the end when the queen opens up this book to the gods to justify her actions. And in opening the book, in reading it, she realizes she has no justification, and that the things she has done have been more self-centered than, say, other-focused. And that brought me to the idea of what would it take for a woman, a young woman in our world today, to see something new, sort of crack her open to experience something new. And rather than break her down and see all that she'd done wrong, right. I gave her an Italian guy and a great adventure. But it was that idea of what would entice you to look at things from a different perspective.